Hey y'all, your girl Janice is live, and I'm going to be on here real quick, not for long, but I want to continue on this conversation. So I need to ask y'all a serious question. 10 years from now, when your grandchildren ask you what you did during the greatest economic shift our community has seen in decades, what are you going to tell them? That you watched it on Instagram, or that you liked the post? Or are you going to be able to tell them that you became an owner? Because I truly believe that we are living through one of the greatest Black wealth transfers in our history. And I also believe that most people don't even realize that it's happening. I think most people believe that a wealth transfer looks different. And when people hear wealth transfer, they think that someone is like literally handing out money. But y'all, that is not how it works. It happens when industries begin changing hands, and the information that was used to keep people from behind doors, that information now becomes available and more accessible. And this is what we're seeing in the beauty supply industry, in our beauty supply stores. Because y'all, I didn't grow up in this industry, right? I shared my story with you guys recently, when I had an encounter with some Asian women in my store, and this was like 15 or so years ago. They were wondering how I got my product, where I got my product, similar to our young brother in Louisiana who's going viral for the same type of harassment. You know, people don't understand that for decades we haven't owned this industry. And most people who get into beauty supply, the black stores, of course, they don't come from a family, or they didn't have someone pass them down a store. 9 times out of 10, this was someone who got the information, figured out the information, and just went for it, right? And so this is why it's really important for people to understand the time that we're living in, and understand that the wealth transfer is happening. And like I've been saying, y'all, most people don't even realize that it's happening. I think we're on social media and we're watching and we're commenting, and a small percentage of the people who are on social media are actually going to do something about it. Because for decades, y'all, like, just think about it, for decades we have been incredible with building service-based businesses. So we're hairstylists, we're braiders, we're barbers, we're the makeup artists. But the service industry and service jobs and service businesses, it only goes so far, right? It does create income, it does create money, but ownership, right? Ownership, that creates actual assets, right? And I think that when you have an actual asset, that's when you can have legacy, and that's where you can pass things down from generation to generation. As a hairstylist, you can't pass that down. As a barber, hair braider, makeup artist, that is not something that you can actually pass down. And that's why this conversation of ownership in beauty supply is so important, and I'm so passionate about it, is because these are the opportunities that we have right now during this wealth transfer, right? And it's not, and I want y'all to be very clear, this is not about taking something from somebody, right? It's about a shift. Like, this is about a shift. And I want black women to start thinking bigger, right? Think bigger than just making money. Like, we're building a business that could potentially be passed down. We're building a business that will employ people, right? We're building a business that can be able to buy other assets with the cash flow from this existing business. And that's why I really love, like, retail. I love beauty supply, specifically in retail, because it is a cash flowing business that allows you to invest in other things. Unlike real estate, where it's not a cash flow and you're not making tens of thousands of dollars per month. You're making a couple of $100 off of a tenant, right? Retail, beauty supply specifically, the cash flow is something that you can eventually leverage. If you play your cards right, you can eventually leverage for other businesses. So you don't have to even multiply your beauty supply store if you don't even want to do that. You can leverage it to buy other businesses, to invest in other businesses, to eventually invest in real estate. But I feel like y'all have it sometimes backwards, where y'all want to do the real estate before you do a cash flowing business. And I'm just telling y'all that is just backwards. It is backwards, and you need to be thinking about investing in business the other way around. You want to invest in the business that you see the most amount of money. And Black women spend $17 billion per year in beauty. We are the largest spenders, the largest consumers, and we own the least. Okay, we own the least. And so I don't want to do too much on here because I'm having a full training Thursday. And let me go ahead and drop let me go ahead and drop it in the chat for y'all. Okay, I'm having a webinar on Thursday. I'm having a full training on Thursday where I'm going to deep dive into all of what I'm talking about. So if you're watching me on Instagram, you can comment the word training and I'll send you a link. If you're watching me on Facebook or YouTube, the link is going to be in the chat. If you're watching me on Facebook or YouTube, the link is going to be in the chat. And this is a free training, right? That's going to help you position yourself to be able to be a part of the Black wealth transfer. And y'all, if you're excited about it, I want you to give me a heart or a like on this video because I'm extremely excited about what's taking place. Like I'm always thinking about what I want my grandkids to say about their grandma, what I want people to say at my funeral. And that might sound dark to y'all, but I'm always thinking about the eulogy. Here lies a woman who, when my grandchildren and great-grandchildren are around the dinner table and they talk about their grandma, they're going to talk about the things that I left. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about leaving a legacy for my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. Like I already done left things for my kids. They're good. I'm thinking about generationally the impact that I want to have, and not just on my bloodline, but literally the whole Black community. We have very few pioneers in the space right now. We have very few pioneers in the space that specifically are for the economic empowerment of Black people, specifically Black women. And this type of impact is really why I've stayed in this industry for 17 years. Because I had my store for 8. And I started doing coaching right after I closed my stores in 2017. Right when I had my son. Because I understood that this movement is just greater than opening stores. Like the way other cultures take these businesses and profit off the Black dollar, and they're able to pass things down to their children and grandchildren. I've been on the inside. I've seen it, and y'all seen it too. Y'all may not know, but when you go into your local beauty supply store that's been there for like 30, 40 years or whatever, like the grandchildren are there. The grandchildren are there. But right now we have a great opportunity because a lot of the grandchildren now don't want the beauty supply store business. So a lot of them are shutting down. But again, I'm going to be talking about this all on Thursday. I don't want to get too deep into it tonight. But y'all, Thursday night is the training, and we're talking about the opportunity. We're talking about the Black Wealth Transfer, and I'm giving you guys the step-by-step roadmap on how we help Black people open beauty supply stores in their community so that they can be the change that they want to see in this industry and also create time freedom and generational wealth for their family. So if that is something that you want for yourself, if that is something that you have been thinking about, and you understand that something is happening right now, there's something happening in the atmosphere, and you want to know more, you need to pull up. You need to pull up Thursday. So literally, we have 2 days left for the registration. So go ahead and register because we're going to be shutting down the registration in 2 days, y'all. All right. So, and then share this with somebody, guys. Share this live with someone who needs to hear about the Black Wealth Transfer that is happening right before our eyes. So, I will see you guys at the next live. Love you guys. Have a good night.